What is going on, everyone? Dude, I was a little shocked face because Ohio State just lost to Oregon. Just had that alert come across. How we doing? It's week 6 NFL fantasy football. We got a lot of injuries going on right now. Oh, let's turn that volume down there. We got a lot of injuries to get through. We got bye weeks, Rams, Kansas City, Dolphins, and the Vikings. All players that we've been playing. Maybe with the exception of the Dolphins, right? Dolphins haven't been doing so great here lately ever since Tua went down. Um, they need a bye week to figure some things out, right? But how's everybody doing? Hopefully we're not hurting too bad. I mean, players out right now. Stevenson, Chandler, what's going on? No, dude, as soon as I hit live, saw that alert come across, which as a Michigan fan myself, great to see Ohio State go down because they suck. Uh, 32-31. Love it. Alabama almost lost again this week. College football's been crazy. Crazy. Um, we got a lot of injuries this week, guys. Not going to lie. It's not looking good. Stevenson, Neighbors, Adams, Singletary, Jonathan Taylor, Nico Collins, IR, Derek Carr, Brian Robinson, which we've been riding Brian Robinson hard here lately, right? And for him to go down, that one kind of hurts a little bit. Look for Austin Eckler to step up big this week. If you got Eckler, or if you can pick up Eckler, I don't think he's probably rostered more now that Brian Robinson's going to be out. But I assume Eckler, for 1 week, hopefully, should be able to step it up. He's rostered in 77% of leagues, so he's only available in 23% right now. Start Austin Eckler over Montgomery. No, I'm okay. The revenge game for Detroit this week, guys. Dallas is still without Mike Parsons, Lawrence, and Lawrence. They're not good against the run. Detroit's going to pound the ball. Revenge game for what happened last year. They wanted them in the playoffs last year. Montgomery, 100 yards and at least one tutty this week, right? If not two. Look for you're either going to get, but Jameer's going to get his too. Look at what they've done this season so far, right? They both get theirs. That's just the way that this offense is rolling. That's the way this Detroit offense is rolling. Now, Gibbs, I mean, he's sitting at 4 touchdowns on the season, but I mean, you look at 40 yards and a touchdown week 1 with another 34 yards receiving, 84 yards, 83 yards, 78 yards, a touchdown in week 4. He also got a receiving touchdown in week 3. So he's still feeding, right? And then Montgomery, I mean, if we take a look and see what Montgomery's done so far this year, Montgomery, 91 yards week 1, 35 week 2, but 105, 40 last week with another 40 yards receiving and a touchdown. Montgomery's he's gotten you a touchdown every week, and there's no reason to think that he's not going to get that touchdown this week. What's up, Michael? How we doing, brother? No reason to think Montgomery's not going to get another touchdown and keep that streak going against this awful Dallas defense that gives up the run. Now, they kind of held the run off last week, but Pittsburgh's not that great offensively. Let's just be honest. But Detroit is way better at the run than Pittsburgh is. And look for them to just absolutely just punish and take out what happened last season on Dallas. This is a game that Detroit has had circled on the calendar since the schedule came out. They wanted Dallas last year in the playoffs. They were pissed Dallas didn't win and that they didn't get to play Dallas in the playoffs. You heard Aiden Hutchinson said it after the game. He's like, I wish we were playing Dallas, but we're not. So we're going to go ahead and take on this team, right? But yeah, big weeks for Montgomery and Gibbs. That Detroit offense is going to be rolling, and look for them just to pound that ball. Again, Montgomery, 100 yards and a tutty. Gibbs, 100 combined yards and a touchdown. If I had them both, I mean, I have in all the leagues that I'm in, I have one or the other of them, and I'm playing them. They're must plays for me. Going back and forth between starting Irving or Dobbins. So Dobbins kind of struggled the last several weeks, right? We ain't gotten much out of Dobbins here lately. Um, what have we gotten out of him here lately? They're playing, and it's a tough matchup against Denver. That Denver defense is legit. You got week 3, 44 yards, week 4, 32 yards. He's still getting the carries. He's just not getting the average, just isn't there. 3 catches both weeks, 3 catches for 10 yards, 3 catches for 30 yards. You've got a tough matchup. And all 3 of these matchups have been tough, right? Pittsburgh, Kansas City, and Denver are all great against the run. Irving, though, you're dealing with a split backfield there. Irving, he hasn't gotten you much. I mean, if he's not getting you in the end zone, right? 40 yards, 49 yards, 70 in week 3, 22, 62, touchdown in week 14. Outside of that week 14, he's getting you less and less. White is listed as doubtful, though. I did not see that. I did not know that. So if White doesn't play, then yeah. Yeah. I see White listed as doubtful. So yeah, I would go ahead and play. Let's talk this out, right? Some of the stuff I'm just kind of seeing. Go with Irving. Go with Irving. Better matchup against New Orleans. New Orleans doesn't have Derek Carr this week. Is that offense really going to roll with Spencer Rattler? I don't know. Worse defense than what JK is seeing in Denver. Denver's defense has been really good this year and has won them some games. So yeah. I'm going Dobbins there. Should I start Tajee Spears, Braylon Allen, or James Cook? We don't know if James Cook is going to play. No clue whether or not he's going to play. He's listed as questionable, if I remember right. Let's just double check. Yeah, he's listed as questionable right now. He's trending towards playing, but you're looking at a Monday night matchup, right? Now, Tajee Spears, I'm not really excited about Spears. Because the Pollard's playing. I didn't see anything about Pollard not playing. Yeah, Tajee got you 15 carries last week for 39 yards and a touchdown. Nothing great. Wait, hold on a second. Or 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, that was 2 weeks ago. He was on the bye last week. Get my weeks all mixed up there. A break. I just don't trust the Jets right now. That offense is not. I like Allen. I've been in on holding him, possibly playing him a lot. Buffalo's one of the worst defenses against the run, but you haven't outside of week 2, you haven't gotten anything more than 10 points out of Allen. So with things trending towards Cook playing, probably want to go with James Cook, and just hope that stands pat. 12-man standard. If Cook doesn't play, I'll probably play. I'll probably lose. Yeah. He's trend. What I'm reading is he's trending towards playing. Right. If he plays, it's a no-brainer. Right. He's better than Allen. He's better than Spears. He's the workhorse there. So I'm gonna keep an eye on things a little bit. See if anything else comes out tomorrow morning. But Cook, it's tough, man. Right. Because you don't know. But I don't think you're going to get much out of Spears or Allen, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be there unless they get a touchdown. That's the only way they're worth playing is if they get a touchdown. But then you're banking on a touchdown, and we don't want to bank on a touchdown, right? If you had If you had to bench one, would it be Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore, or Devonta Smith? Um, Gotta bench one. Devonta Smith's coming off the injury. So is AJ Brown. Um, what has Harrison done? I think Harrison's been stepping it up here lately, though. Now, 2 catches for 36 yards. Um, Against Green Bay, it's a, it's a favorable matchup. Man, DJ Moore. I don't know. I'm not buying in on the Bears yet, guys. Um, they're playing Jacksonville. They had 5 for 105. I think I'm gonna go ahead and bench. Let me bench Devontae. Just coming off the injury, you don't know what he's gonna be like. Yeah. Let's see here. Start 2 in a standard. I'm so stuck. Deontay Johnson, Wandale Robinson, or Jalen Tolbert. You're going to start 2. I'm going to start Wandale Robinson. Malik Neighbors is out again this week. So that looks like a nice target share for Wandale. Let's see here. How did Wandale do last week? Wandale last week got us 6 catches, 36 yards, and a touchdown on 9 targets. Look for the target share to be there. So you're definitely going to be getting that. Yeah, that's why. Hold on. I'm jumping all over the place. Deontay Johnson's dealing with an ankle injury, but he's been dealing with it for a few weeks. I like him. Andy Dalton's still supposed to be playing, especially with Dalton playing, right? Jalen Tolbert, I just don't trust him just yet, guys. He had the last minute touchdown, but I don't know that I don't trust Tolbert yet. I'm going Wandell and Deontay, and I'm going to sit Tolbert. Yeah, DJ. That's why I'm going with. That's why I'm going to make the call, and I'm going to sit Devontae Smith in that situation. Harrison's looked good lately. He's got a good matchup against Green Bay. DJ Moore, they're playing the Jags. The Jags are awful. Now watch the Jags step up and have a great game and just completely annihilate them, right? But that's besides the point. I think you got to go DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison. You got to play the odds there. I don't trust Wicks yet. I talked about it last week. I didn't trust Wicks. He didn't play great. Wickens or Pickens, or drop Wicks and play Slayton off the waivers. I don't want to do that because Neighbors is going to be back soon, right? And once Neighbors comes back, I think Slayton kind of goes to the wayside. I think I'll just play Pickens there. Is what I'm going to go with. Bucky or Chase Brown PPR. Chase Brown's dealing with an injury. Bucky is not. And Bucky's getting the lion's share of the carries there this week. Let me just see what the latest is on Chase Brown. He's listed as questionable, dealing with a quad. He's expected to play, but he is dealing with an injury. I think I'm going to go with Bucky Irving in that situation. Is where I'm going to go. Yeah, give me Bucky. Give me Bucky over Chase Brown. I do like Chase Brown, but he is dealing with the injury. It's a quad, could re-injure it. I don't like dealing with an injury going into a week when I got a guy that's healthy and I don't have to worry about the injury, right? I don't have to worry about a guy re-aggravating something. Start 1 non-PPR, Amari Cooper, Brian Thomas, or JMO. I'm out on Cooper, man. I don't like Deshaun Watson. I mean, he walked off the field on the team last week, right? Coach is like, "Hey, we're going for it," and he's like, "No, we're not going for it. I'm done," and just walks off the field. He's getting you a decent amount of targets, but he's not getting you a lot of catches. He's gotten you 4 catches the last 2 weeks on 18 targets, 95 yards total for the last 2 weeks. I don't like Amari Cooper. JMO, here's the thing with JMO. Big play. right? They're gonna bust him loose for a big play. Is he gonna get a touchdown on it? If he does, it could be worth it, especially if you get extra points for um 40 plus yard receptions or 40 plus yard plays. Because I mean, with JMO, it could be a reverse, right? You don't know what you're going to get with JMO, but they are going to focus on getting the ball. I I think Brian Thomas might be your safer play. There is kind of what I'm thinking. If you want to go safe, Brian Thomas, who's, I mean, the last couple weeks he got you a touchdown both the last 2 weeks, 6 receptions, 5 receptions, 86 yards, 122. Um, with the exception of week 3 against a tough Buffalo team, he's gotten you 10 plus points every week. So I think I'm going to go with Brian Thomas if we're just starting one non PPR. I think that's where I'm going to lean there. I think he's going to be the safer play. Hurts or Kyler, I have AJ. Hurts has got his weapons back. Kyler's playing Green Bay. Their defense isn't that great. Um, I know we haven't gotten much out of Jalen Hurts this year. They're playing Cleveland though. God, they're playing Cleveland. Cleveland sucks. Um, Give me Hurts. I'm gonna take Hurts with the Cleveland game. And he's got the weapons back. You have AJ. You're gonna get double points there. So yeah. Should I pick up the Bears defense and drop the Jets? I mean, they're playing the Jags. The Jags aren't great. Who are the Jets playing this week? I honestly don't know. I know I already looked at it. They're playing Buffalo. I mean, I'm not gonna play the Jets defense against Buffalo, although they might end up having a good one. Um, yeah, the Vikings defense as well, but they're on a bye. Yeah, I'll play the Bears defense and drop the Jets. The Jets defense hasn't been what it had been. Brian Allen or Dubs? Um, Brian. Oh, okay, I need some more information there, John. Give me some more info on that, man. What are we looking at? I don't want to make assumptions on who the players are just based off the one name. So just if you could just help me out. Dylan, need help. Full PPR, different league. One QB, one flex, one tight end. Baker, Caleb. I like Baker. Baker has been playing great this year. Who are they playing this week though? Let's take a look. They're playing New Orleans. I still like Baker. I do. I don't trust Caleb yet. Let's see here. Kirk, Spears, Andrews likely. Man, okay, let's see here. 2 flex, 1 RBs, wide receivers, Pierce, Wicks. I don't like Wicks. I don't like Bateman. Pierce we still is Anthony Richardson playing? I haven't heard anything on Richardson. He's still listed as questionable. If Flacco's in, I like them. He's expected to suit up for Sunday's Week 6 matchup, so I don't like any of the receivers for the Colts without Flacco playing. Honestly, Andrews finally did something last week, but is that going to continue on? Uh, I have ETN starting already. Flex. I like Bucky in the flex. Um, I like Christian Kirk over Spears. I mean, if you're looking at Pierce, Wicks, or Bateman, I don't like any of those options. Um, especially with Richardson playing. I mean, you might get a big play. I potential with Wicks, potential with Pierce. Pierce is only going to be if he catches a big play. Wicks, if Jordan Love is throwing 50, 60 passes, Wicks can get some of that, you know. Um, I don't really like, I'm kind of rolling out on Ford here lately. Um, yeah. Let me know if I answered everything for you there, Dylan. Let's see here. 12-man PPR, 1 QB, 3 wide receivers, 2 RBs, 1 flex. Okay, I'm 4-1. Godwin, Chase, Brian Thomas Jr., Higgins, Adams is out. I'm definitely playing Gibbs. Hunt, you don't have to worry about. He's out. Sermon, he did pretty decent last week. Let's see here. I got offered. Okay, let's see. I got offered. I don't like Tyreek Hill. I don't like for Godwin, Higgins, and I stand pat. I stand pat. With no Tua, I don't like Hill, and we don't know when JT's coming back. Stand pat. Cat for life, ladies and gentlemen. 14-team PPR league flex spot. Gibson, Pats. Oh, okay. Gibson's getting the start, so we like that. Mitchell, I don't like with Anthony Richardson playing. Leggett, I like him with Andy Dalton playing. Um, Thoughts on Vidal? I have JK. So I'm going with your flex spot. PPR, maybe give me Leggett. No, give me Gibson. Give me Gibson. I'm going to take Gibson out of those options. What are we doing with Devontae Adams? We're waiting. That's what I'm waiting for. We're waiting to see what team he ends up on. I don't think he's playing until he gets traded. I don't think he wants to come back and get injured, then not be able to be traded for a big injury. I'm not getting rid of Devontae because if he ends up let's say Devontae ends up with Kansas City, which is a rumor. I'm definitely playing the crap out of Devontae if he ends up on Kansas City. Like Kansas City could make a move with all the injuries that they've had, with Hollywood out, with Rashee Rice out. Yeah, so I'm standing pat with Devontae is what I'm doing. Richardson's or Cousins. It's not even I'm not even debating that. I don't like Anthony Richardson. I just don't like him. Let's see here. Dowdle is that supposed to be okay, or ETN. Also, Tracy available for pickup. I like Tyrone Tracy. I thought Tyrone Tracy was good. ETN has become touchdown dependent. Um, I don't like Dallas tomorrow. I can see Dallas going down big and having to pass the ball a ton. I like Tracy. Is who I like. Michael Lopez, hit that like button. That's right, brother. Hit that like button, guys. Drop a sub. Definitely appreciate it. I'm getting to all these as quickly as I can. Dowdle, ETN, or Chase Brown this week. Ah, ETN is he's just so touchdown dependent. Like that's my problem with ETN. If he doesn't get a touchdown, he's pretty much worthless. Right. Last week, and he's going up against Chicago, a tough defense. Last week he had 6 carries for 17 yards. That's not good. Chase is supposed to suit up, dealing with an injury issue. I'm not a big fan of Dowdle, although he got the touchdown last week that kind of helped out. 20 rushes for 87 yards. Detroit does give up. I don't know. I don't like Down. I think I want to go Chase Brown, Brendan. Although I hate the fact that we're dealing with an injury with Chase Brown. I don't like that. Going into it, I talked about it earlier. I think I would rather go with a guy who's healthy versus a guy who's coming into a game with an injury that he's dealing with that could re-aggravate it. But I just don't like the Dallas run. They did decent last week, but I don't know. It's a start 2 situation. Then Dowdle and Chase. I think it's Dowdle and Chase. I don't like ETN. I've kind of been out on ETN all season. The only weeks that he's proved me wrong is when he he gets those late touchdowns, right? If he doesn't get a touchdown, you're not getting anything out of him. It's just not there. And with Tank Bigsby right there, breathing down his neck, you know, yeah, I think I'll go Dowdle and Chase Brown if we're starting 2 there. If we're just benching 1, I'm going to go with ETN. Victor, what do we got here? Christian Kirk, Jalen Tolbert, or Darius Slayton? Pick one to start PPR. Christian Kirk. I don't trust Jalen Tolbert just yet. He has had issues with route running, things like that. He's looked all right here as of late. Darius Slayton, I mean, I- what did Slayton do us for us last week? He had 1 week last week, right? Outside of last week, he's done nothing for us. I hate rolling with guys off of one hot week because that could just be an outlier week. Now, Malik Neighbors was out, so that definitely factors into it, right? Malik Neighbors is out again this week, but I think let me just double check. Hold on. Let me look at one more thing real quick. Because, like I said, initially, Christian Kirk, I think, let's say Christian Kirk is a safer play. How's that? Um, Tough matchup, but if Jacksonville's down, they could throw the ball a lot. I just don't. I don't trust Jalen Tolbert. Darius Slayton is at a 1 week outlier. I don't know. That's kind of what we did. We did with Wicks 2 weeks ago, right? Wicks blew up 2 weeks ago. Awesome week. Everyone's like, I'm starting him. I'm starting him. I'm starting him, and he delivered you a bag of poop last week. He just came to your door and said, "Here's a bag of crap." He lit on fire, and he didn't run away. He just stood there and watched you have to stomp it out, right? Um, so that's what I'm worried about with Darius Slayton this week. So I think Christian Kirk is a safer play. Um, you could end up Tolbert and Slayton could end up having good weeks, but I think Christian Kirk's kind of the safer play there. ETN, yeah, I don't like ETN. Got a hard question. Flex one: Reed, Devontae, Flowers, or Bowers. Um, Keep in mind I'm starting J Love and Jacobs as well. You got Aiden O'Connell throwing the ball in Vegas. Um, no, Jacoby Myers is doubtful. No Devontae Adams. Someone's got to catch the ball there. I don't trust. I don't like the Baltimore pass offense because they don't pass it. They just don't. They're not throwing the ball around. Um, Devontae's coming back. First week coming back off an injury. Do you want to put all your eggs in the Green Bay basket? I mean, it's hard to bench Jaden Reed. Um, Especially in a game that could be a shootout. I think I want to go Jaden Reed. And I know that's probably not the answer you were looking for, or maybe it was. That's what you're going with. But I just think it's Jaden Reed's having a great year so far this year. The ceiling is higher with him. With Flowers, Baltimore's not passing the ball. I don't try. Aiden O'Connell got benched for Minshew, but now Minshew's getting benched for Aiden O'Connell. Yeah. Or I could start Kyler. I don't know that I want to go and start. I mean, you could start Kyler, but Green Bay's been throwing the ball a ton lately. A ton. I'm almost kind of worried about Jacobs a little. Um, he got you the touchdown last week that kind of salvaged things, but 19 carries for 73 yards. The 2 weeks before that, he's getting you under 10 points. I mean, outside of, and that's his first touchdown on the season. He's gonna get the utilization. And I'm not a big Kyler fan, to be honest with you either. Um, he's having a decent year this year. I know that. 195 and a touchdown last week, 83 yards rushing. I don't, I don't, I don't, I, I'm not starting Kyler over Jordan Love. Um, I'm not doing that. I think I think you just kind of. Here's what I think you're gonna have. I think you're gonna have a shootout tomorrow. You're gonna have a high scoring game. Jaden Reed, if you bench him, he's gonna blow up. He really is. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Reed, and I'm gonna roll the dice with Love and Jacobs, and say, hey, let's do this. I think that's where I'm going, Bryce. 12-team full PPR redraft. Need one flex. Shaheed, McConkey, Mooney, or Dell. Uh, I like Mooney. I like Mooney. I have London and Chase. Okay, we already have London as a starter. So you're putting all your eggs in the. Is Kirk Cousins going to throw for 500 more yards? Dell, you know what? With no Nico now, I kind of like Dell. Um, or is Diggs going to get a lot of action? I mean, Dell ended up 4 for 4 on targets last week. He could be seeing an uptick in target. He hasn't gotten a ton of targets on the year, guys. He's at 21 total targets in 5 games. 13 catches, 137 yards. No Nico Collins, though, could definitely help out Dell's stock, but you don't know for sure. What we got here? You got Pitts. Okay, I'm not playing Pitts, London, and Mooney because you got to hope for Cousins throw for 500 yards again. McConkey. Do you want to put all your eggs in the Falcons basket? That's a tough one. I don't know that I'd put all my eggs in the Falcons basket and go for a little bit of variety in there. Um, I don't like Shaheed with Spencer Radler playing. If Derek Carr's playing, it's Shaheed, right? It's not even a question for me. I'm playing Shaheed if Derek Carr's in there. With Spencer Radler in there, I don't know, man. I don't like Shaheed this week without Derek Carr. I think I almost want to go McConkey, who's looked good when Justin Herbert's been in there here lately. You don't know if Dell's going to get those extra targets or if Stephon Diggs is going to see a higher target share. If we've had a week without Nico, I'd feel better about making that decision there. I don't want to put all of my eggs in the Falcons basket because then you're hoping for Kirk Cousins throw for 500 yards again. And I don't know that he's going to throw for 500 yards again this week. He could, but I don't think he's going to. That's not a formula for what they want to do there. They want to run the ball more. They haven't been great at it, but they need to get Bijan going in that offense. So yeah, I think I'm going McConkey just to have some variety in my lineup. Don't like Shaheed. I like Mooney, but it's too many. You're counting on 3 players to have big weeks. And Dell, I'm just unsure of right now. You just don't know what we're going to get out of him if he's going to get it. Drop Andrews and play Ingram off the waivers. Ugh. I love Ingrams. We talking Evan? Talking Evan Ingram? Let me know. He's likely to play. Tough matchup against Chicago if we're talking Evan Ingram. Let me know for sure, John, if that's Evan Ingram or not. Because it's spelled differently. And so I'm not sure. I want to make sure that's who you're talking about. I don't trust the Baltimore pass game. Washington is tough. Andrews only had 4 catches for 55 yards, 5 targets. He's got 14 targets on the year, 10 catches, 120 yards. I hate to say yes, but I kind of want to lean towards yes if you're talking about Evan Ingram again. So, let's see here. Who should I flex? Bucky Irving versus the Saints, Wicks versus the Cardinals, or Josh Downs versus the Titans? I'm going Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving. I don't like Josh Downs now that Anthony Richardson is back. Wicks, I mean, he could have a big week, but he delivered us crap last week. I just don't trust him. Bucky Irving's going to be your starter there with Rashid White out. Um, and I mean, you could see Bucky Irving kind of start to take over that backfield possibly. That's one of the worst things that could happen for Rashid White is getting injured because Bucky Irving's looked he's looked pretty decent here as of late. I mean, even all season really when he's gotten the carries. Now we're going to see a full game of Bucky Irving. Can he carry this team? I think he can. I don't trust Wicks, and I don't like Downs with Anthony Richardson. With if Flacco was playing, yes, Flacco's not playing. So that's where I'm at with that. I don't like Anthony Richardson, but I like the other one. Um, Downs is dealing with a toe injury. He's supposed to play, so he should be fine. But again, Anthony Richardson is big player nothing is what you get with Anthony Richardson. Yeah. Bigsby or Rico can't decide. Gracias, amigo. Okay. Tomas, Bigsby or Rico. I don't like the Jacksonville. I don't like either one of those options. I want better options, but we don't have it, so we got to go with it. Okay, so Bigsby or Rico. I think I want to go. I'm going to go Rico, just because he's not splitting. It's not a split backfield. Chicago's defense is good against the run. Um, is Bigsby going to get 2 touchdowns again? Because I mean, outside of last week, we haven't gotten much, right? Um, yeah, I think I want to go Rico. Just just because Rico he's getting the carries there. Uh, you hope Bigsby's going to keep doing it, but again, I always worry about a player who has done nothing, then all of a sudden has a big breakout week, and then sometimes you don't get anything after that, right? Sometimes it's just a flash in the pan 1 week. So that's where I'm at with that. Um, I'm gonna go Rico there. Let's see here. Start to Bucky Irving, starting Bucky. Um, James Cook, Tyrone Tracy. Um, Also, should I flex one of them over Dell? Are you a PPR league? Let me know that. Um, because that plays a little bit of a factor, although I don't think it plays too much of a factor. Um, Half point PPR. Okay. Yeah, I think I might play. Here's the thing: James Cook injured, trending towards playing Monday night. So that's a risk that you've got to decide if you want to take. Because if he doesn't play, you're kind of out of luck, right? Um, so I kind of want to lean towards, yeah, I play all three. Again, James Cook is looking like he's going to play. I like Bucky. I like Tyrone. Tyrone did good for us last week. Devin Singletary's out again, so he's going to get the carries. I I think I would go ahead and roll the dice with Cook and flex him and start Irving and Tyrone. Um, that's the only question, right? Now, if you think Adele is going to have a great game, which we're not sure of, right? We don't know if he's going to pick up all those targets that Nico was getting. He seems like a good obvious choice for it, but that's not always the way it works out, right? Um, but Bucky's starting, Tyrone's starting. You know they're going to get the carries. You know the workload's going to be there for them. If James Cook is playing, you know the workload's going to be there for him. Me personally, I'm taking Bucky, Cook, and Tyrone, and I'm going to bench Dell. A half point PPR. Bucky Irving and Pacheco for Dobbins and Brooks. Is that you asking about a trade type situation there? Let me know. I'm not sure what you're asking with that. Let's see here. Jay Slay, what's up? What's crazy is a guy in one of my leagues dropped Jalen Hurts for Caleb Williams. So I got a notification. I jump on, I put a claim for Hurts, and I don't really need him, but why not? No, yeah, especially with AJ Brown and Devonta Smith coming back this week. We really haven't been able to see what that offense is going to be like with Saquon added in there because we've had AJ Brown out and then we got Smith out. Well, now they're both coming back, and you got Saquon there. I'd pick up Hurts. I wouldn't have dropped him for Caleb. I mean, that's crazy. Um, let's see here. Quick question: when you are live on your head now, do you see the pop up questions? I see the question. Yeah. I click on them as I go through, and I try and catch them all. So if I miss one, just let me know. Just throw it in there again. Um, we've gotten a lot. Saturday nights have become a lot more popular. When we first started doing this, I had about 2, 3 people in here. We're rolling with 12 in here right now. I love it, guys. Come on in here. I'm going to try and get through all of your questions. If I miss one, throw it back in there again, guys, so I can go ahead and catch it. But yeah, I see them, show up, and I'm clicking on them as I'm addressing them. Yeah, trade. I have Bucky side. What are your thoughts? I'm 3-2 right now. Okay, so you're on the Bucky side. So you're getting Bucky, or you're trading away? Because okay, two questions. Are you getting Bucky, or are you trading Bucky away? No, you're getting Bucky because you were asking to start Bucky. Okay. Bucky and Pacheco for Dobbins and Brooks. Man, that's tough. Um, is it a dynasty league? Let me ask you that. Let me know if it's a dynasty league, and we'll get back to that as soon as I get that question. Downs, Braylon Allen, Lazard, or Jalen Tolbert, full PPR. Am I just picking one, Mason? If I'm just picking one, I'm gonna go Lazard. No, it's a redraft. Okay, Mason. Yes, one. I think I'm gonna go Lazard. Um, Braylon Allen split backfield. Josh Downs, I don't like with Anthony Richardson playing. Jalen Tolbert, I don't trust him. We've seen what Lazard is getting the target share from Aaron Rodgers, so I'm going with Lazard in that one. Rico or ETN, half point PPR. I'm gonna go Rico. I don't like ETN. Bigsby's out snapping him now, out carrying him now, outplaying him now. Split backfield 100%. I think Rico's going to kind of become the guy there in Dallas. So I want to go with that. Baker or Kyler? Ooh, that's a good one. I think you're dealing with a shootout there. Arizona and Green Bay. I do like Baker though. I know I'm starting him in one of my leagues. I have only have him in one against New Orleans. Where that offense could spend a lot of time on the field this week with Spencer Rattler starting for New Orleans. I think I want to go Baker. I just like Baker with Mike Evans that he's throwing to touchdown machine. Um, Kyler, you've seen, I mean, even when they've had higher scoring games, you've kind of seen him not have such great weeks. Baker, I mean, I think we're only looking at one kind of off week on Baker this year, and that was against Denver. Um, the Saints aren't. I don't think they're as good as Denver, honestly. Other than that, you're looking at pretty much like 20 plus points a week from Baker. I'm going Baker there. No giving, and you said it's a redraft. Okay, so let's revisit this real quick, guys. He's asking, should he trade Bucky Irving and Isaiah Pacheco for J.K. Dobbins and Jonathan Brooks? You don't know what you're going to get out of Jonathan Brooks when he comes back. We don't know when Pacheco's coming back. So it boils down to a question of Bucky Irving or J.K. Dobbins, I think, because Pacheco and Brooks could end up being null and void in that trade, right? Um, Bucky, I don't know that I want to. I like Dobbins. He's had 2 bad weeks against 2 good defenses. The last 2 weeks before that, he was having a great year. Um, Also, the last 2 weeks, Justin Herbert's been hobbled by injury, so I don't think you necessarily had to worry so much about him. And they were just piling the box. We know Dobbins is a starter. Bucky is getting a spot start right now. Um, Man, that's a tough one. I think I might pull the trigger on that. You know what? No, I think I stand pat. Let's stand pat. I don't think you're getting significantly better or significantly worse if the trade doesn't work out for you. Um, I think you're just kind of. It would be just making a move just to make a move, is what I think. Let's see here. So when you're streaming, go to the chat box and click on the questions. That's all you have to do to pop up questions. So everyone can say, "Yep, yep." I've got we use StreamYard for our stuff, and it makes it super simple. Um, first time here. Do you rate teams? I mean, I can tell you what I think. I try and give my opinion as much as I can. Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields? Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins. I like Cousins. Fields. I think he's still starting this week, although Russ is starting the practice. But if Fields starts off rough, you can see Russ come in there. They're playing Vegas. They're not bad. Um, there's just if Fields starts off slow, it's gonna they're gonna go they'll go to Russ. Kurt doesn't have to look over his shoulder at all. Give me Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins. Let's see here. Tyrone Tracy or Gibson, and start Hurts or Love redraft. I'm going to start Love. I think you're going to deal with a shootout there in Arizona. Hurts. This is really your first time really seeing that offense. Tyrone Tracy or Antonio Gibson. I want to go Tyrone Tracy there. Tracy looked good last week. Gibson got to start last week and quickly was replaced by Ramondre, really. Um, Give me Tyrone Tracy and Jordan Love there. I have CeeDee Lamb, Tank Dell, trading for St. Brown and Godwin. Good trade to make. Yes. Godwin's been good this year. St. Brown, I love St. Brown. CD disappears in the second half. He has a good first half and then he disappears. Tank Dell, you don't know what you're going to get. We don't know what we're going to get still. And is Nico going to miss 4 games? If Nico misses 4 games, he's back in 4 weeks. Then Tank goes back to the sideline, right? I think you're trading for 2 guys that you plug and play and you start. Eckler over Wicks for flex and PPR. Yes. Eckler over Wicks. Wicks had a good week 2 weeks ago, then followed it up with a dud last week. And then Eckler, he does no Brian Robinson this week, right? So Eckler's going to be the guy. And Washington wants to run the ball. So they're saying to Eckler, "Hey man, I need vintage Eckler for this week." And so hopefully you get the vintage Eckler. But yeah, give me Eckler over Wicks in the flex. Pick 2 the rest of the season: Bowers, Kelsey, or McBride. Kelsey for sure. And I think I'm going to go McBride. More stable quarterback situation. You don't know. I mean, we're going back to Aiden O'Connell there in Vegas. How long is that going to last before they flip back over to Gardner Minshew, or are they just going to roll with Aiden O'Connell for the rest of the season just to say, okay, We know what we got with him. Last year, once they put O'Connell in, they kind of stayed with them. Do they want to say, hey, here's your second chance to try and take this job, and showed us we don't need to draft a quarterback? I don't like the QB situation there. I think your QB situation is better. Obviously in Kansas City, right? And with the wide receivers going down, I think Kelsey's going to start becoming vintage Kelsey, right? And then McBride, yeah, I like McBride. So Lamb and Devontae for Mahomes and Dobbins is the Fuguzi trade, right? Or am I tripping? Um, Mahomes hasn't been that great this year. Interception machine. A Dob and Dobbins is yeah, no, you're not tripping. One team is definitely getting the better of that. Now, who knows what we're going to be getting out of Devontae for the rest of the season, depending on what team he ends up on. Um, if Devontae ends up in Kansas City, it helps Mahomes stock and Devontae stock go up, right? But yeah, no, you're not tripping. That's one team is definitely getting the better of that. I'd rather start Dobbins or West though because he's at least an RB1. Bucky's an RB1 this week. Rashid White's not playing, so Bucky's an RB1 this week. Pick 2 for this week: Drake London, Garrett Wilson, or Jaden Reed. Drake London and Jaden Reed. The Jets just don't look good. They just don't look good, guys. And Garrett Wilson is, he guy wants the ball. he definitely got the target share last week, but you're playing a bad defense in Minnesota. You're playing a good defense in Buffalo. Outside of last week, you ain't got much from him, right? 6, 4, 5 receptions, 60 yards, 57 yards, 33, 41, 1 touchdown. In that, he's only got 2 touchdowns on the week. New coach, I don't know, against a tough team. I think I'm going. I like Drake London, and I like Jaden Reed. I think you're getting a shootout there in Green Bay with Arizona. I think you're going to see a lot of points there. Let's see here. Hi, howdy. Standard, please choose one of my flex position: McBride, Shaheed, Javante, Bigsby, Tolbert, Pittman if he's playing. I don't like Pittman even if he is playing because I don't like Anthony Richardson. I don't trust Tolbert. I think I want to go Javante. Javante, he played good for us last week. I don't like Shaheed with Spencer Rattler playing this week. With Rattler in this week, I just don't like it. McBride, you're dealing with a tight end there. But I thought Javante looked good last week. Bigsby, you're still dealing with ETN there. Is ETN going to steal carries away from him or not? Let me just double check. Let me double check a couple things for you real quick, though. We're not getting a ton of action out of McBride, right? 9 targets last week, 6 catches, 53 yards. You're getting a lot of intermediate stuff. Probably still dealing with a little bit of a rib injury. That's not going to heal in the week. He did play last week. I like Javante played great last week. I think I'm going to go with Javante in that situation. Okay. So this is my lineup for week 6, 12-man PPR. Josh Allen, Rico Dowell, Barkley, Brian Thomas Jr., Terry McLaurin, Rashid Shaheed. I don't like Shaheed this week. Jake Ferguson, Keon Coleman. He might not have Shakir this week. Well, had Myers. He played Thursday, and my defense are the Eagles. Okay. I just don't like Shaheed this week. With Spencer Rattler throwing to him. Now, Rattler might be all right, but I just don't. I don't know. I just don't trust it. Komet or Laporta. That's good. That's a good one. We haven't gotten much out of Laporta this season, right? Haven't gotten a ton out of Komet outside of week 3. You haven't got much out of him. Playing Jacksonville. Laporta's playing the Cowboys, which I think the Lions are going to be pounding the crap out of the ball there. I mean, you're not getting much out of Laporta either. You're getting more out of Komet's. I think you go with Komet there, just for the simple. I think Komet's the safer play in that situation. We're starting if James Cook plays. Now, do you have another option that might be a better start? But if James Cook plays, yes. He's trending towards playing. Depending on who you have, depends on what I do. But if you have any better options out there, maybe you roll with a better option this week just because of Cook's dealing with the injury. Like I said, he is supposed to play, but you don't know. And then if he doesn't play, it's Monday night, right? So you're screwed. Um, so do you have the option of being able to just kind of pump the brakes and be like, you know what, I'm okay. You know what, even if he doesn't play, I'll be all right this week, right? Or is it, hey, I really need this guy. Maybe you got someone better to play. Start one, drop one. Ford, Bigsby, Javante, or Tracy. I'm gonna drop Ford. I think Bigsby's kind of starting to take over there. I think Ford might be kind of trending down, especially with as bad as Cleveland is. Are we going to be getting Chubb back here soon? Starting one, Javante or Tracy. That's my debate right there. Am I going to start Javante Williams or Tyrone Tracy? And that's a good one. Let's see here. I said Tracy looked good. We're playing Cincinnati, 18 for 129. He did have one catch last week for 1 yard. No touchdowns. Cincinnati's not great. Javante. I mean, Javante balled out last week, right? It's is that balled out? 13 for 61, 5 for 50. I don't know. I don't know why I said balled out. Tyrone, Tracy, give me Tracy. Tracy. Flex one PPR. Higgins, Brian Thomas Jr., or Bucky. What did T do for us last week? 11, 9 for 2 touchdowns. He's gotten better every week since he's come back playing the Giants. I think I want to go T Higgins there. Yeah, give me T Higgins. Astro, Mike Evans, or always Mike Evans. Always Mike Evans. I won't. I can't in good conscience put Mike Evans on my bench. What do you think of the 49ers? Are they good for the playoffs or should I look for a better option? Man, I don't like the 49ers haven't looked that good this year. You don't know if CMC is ever going to come back. And I mean ever, right? Are we dealing with a Todd Gurley situation where this guy's awesome and then poof, he's gone? You might be with that arthritis and then both Achilles. I don't know. Brandon Ayuk's killing me this year. Debo finally did something. Jordan Mason's dealing with a joint injury. Shouldn't be a problem, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't like the 49ers. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of things wrong there right now. Pick one: James Cook, Tolbert, Tracy, or Darius Slayton. To me, it's either James Cook or Tracy, and it just depends on if you feel like James Cook is going to play. He's trending towards playing. I want to play James Cook if he's playing. I think Tracy will have a big week though as well. Maybe you go ahead and roll the dice with Tracy because you know he's going to play versus James Cook going into the game with an injury. I talked about it earlier. If I got a player who's going into a game dealing with an injury and a player who's healthy, I want to go with the player who's healthy. So I think I want to go Tracy in this situation. As I talked about that, I talked about that earlier. I'm going to continue to kind of talk about that. I got a guy that I know is healthy. Give me the guy that I know is healthy versus a guy that's coming into it injured. That's where I'm going with that. Oh man, thank you guys all for coming in. I appreciate it, man. This is we're getting through this. I'm getting to the questions as quick as I can, guys. So bear with me if I haven't gotten to yours yet. If I missed yours, let me know. Trade Wandale because he's on the other side of him. Now, what are you getting for him? That's a question. Are you redraft? Are you dynasty? I mean, if you're getting a good premium on him, yeah, why not? Right? Especially if you need some help in some other situations on your roster. If you're sitting there and you're looking like, hey, I need some running back help, maybe you can trade Wandell to get some running back help, right? And you've got the depth for wide receiver. But it would just depend on the rest of your roster, honestly. But I like Wandell going forward. I like him. Najee or Gibson in the flex standard league. I don't really like Najee Harris, guys. I just don't think he's very great. Antonio Gibson, though, is not that great. Najee has 0 touchdowns on the season. I don't like that. Outside of week 3, for the most part. Well, and you said standard, right? Standard. No Ramondre, so you know Gibson's the guy. Houston, kind of a bad matchup for running backs. I guess I'm going to go with Najee. I'm not a big fan of Najee, but Gibson, we're not getting much out of Gibson, right? Even with him being the guy there, you're not getting credit for any receptions. You're getting the yards, but you're not getting the points for it. If it was PPR, I would go Gibson. But yeah. Crafter Goddard. Goddard might see targets kind of go down this week with AJ Brown and Smith back. That could also open up things for him, right? He could get some more action. Tucker's looked good, 2 weeks in a row. We got 3. It's the touchdowns though, right? 3 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. Targets aren't crazy. His groin's fully healthy, so we're good to go on that. I think I want to go Tucker Kraft there. Goddard with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith back. It could work in his favor. It could work against him. I'm going to go Tucker Kraft. He's looked good the last. We've gotten 2 good weeks out of him, right? Decent the other weeks before. Goff or Fields this week, full PPR. Well, the PPR doesn't matter. Although Goff caught a touchdown last week, I'm going Goff. Going Goff. I think that's almost every time I'm going Goff over Fields. Yeah, give me Goff. Detroit's big revenge game this week. They're looking to pay. They're going to make this game undeniable, I think. Komet or Freiermuth? What has Freiermuth done for us this year? He's not on my radar. Freiermuth is not. I mean, he's steady. 4, 4, 4, 5, 3. 27 yards, 39 yards, 33 yards, 57 yards, 22 yards. He's got you touchdowns the last 2 weeks. 100% TD dependent. We're not getting much out of Komet though. We do have a better matchup against Jacksonville. Komet's Freiermuth's a safer play. Freiermuth's a safer play. Komet's got the higher ceiling. So, do you want to play it safe? Go with Freiermuth. If you want to roll the dice and, hey, I need a big week out of my tight end, Komet's the guy that will get you the big week versus Freiermuth. All right. Hi, I need some help this week. I have in my starting lineup Jane Daniels, Tony Pollard, Hubbard, CD, MVJ, tight end McBride, flex Mixon, uh, bench Hurts, Bigsby, Seabro, Cup. Oh, we don't have to worry about Cup. D. Johns and Pickens. I think I want to put Hurts in. I like Tony Pollard this week. Chuba, was getting the carries there. I like CD. Has MVJ done anything for us this year? What is he? I'm not playing that. I'm not playing MVJ. I'm putting. Is that McLaurin? MCL is that McLaurin? Put McLaurin in. That's who MCL is. I like Scary Terry. Give me McLaurin or Deontay Johnson. I'm assuming the other one's Deontay Johnson, but I think I want to go more. I like McLaurin. Jane Daniels is getting better and better every week. I like McLaurin over MVJ, and I like Hurts over Jane. No, that's Jane Daniels. Not. No, I'm sorry. I'm playing Jane Daniels. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought that was Daniel Jones. Yeah, I'm playing Jane Daniels, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stack and I'm gonna put McLaurin in. Yep. One flex league. In my flex, I'm starting ETN at the moment. Should I continue to start ETN or should I? I'm starting Bucky. Starting Bucky. Are you PPR? If you're PPR, I might go with Wandale. But if it's standard, I'm going Bucky. If it's PPR, give me Wandale. I'm not playing ETN. Touchdown dependent. We haven't done anything. Yeah, I'm keeping Jane Daniels in. I'm putting McLaurin in over MVJ. That's what I'm doing. You know what? Let me just look at one more thing. Mixon's expected to suit up. Keep your eyes on that situation. If Mixon doesn't play, Deontay Johnson in the flex. I think that's where I want to leave. Freiermuth or Njoku. I don't like Njoku because I don't like Deshaun Watson. I want Freiermuth. All right, 2 to 3, 10-man, half point PPR. Hurts, Devontae Smith, Del Bijan, Monty Kraft, Flex Connor, bench Brian Robinson. You have to this week. Chase Brown, we don't know what he's going to be doing. Wandell, Goddard, Devontae Adams on the bench, Puka on the bench. What do you think of the team? And who would you trade to upgrade wide receiver? Let me look at this here for a second. I like Wandell. I like Adams. When Puka comes back, I like him. Do we have any word on Puka coming back this year? I ain't seen any updates in a while on Puka. No new updates on him. We got the bye week. I mean, I don't know that you like that. I mean, Devontae's back. I think you're fine wide receiver wide, Junior. I'm not doing anything with my wide receivers. I'm going to stand pat with my wide receivers. Um, if anything, I might try and get another running back. No, not even. I think you're fine. Honestly, Junior, I don't know that I make any moves. I dropped Braylon Allen for Tracy. I mean, Tracy's our starter now, and he might become the starter going forward. I don't have a problem with that. I do not have a problem with that at all. PPR, Bucky Irving or Mari Cooper, Bucky Irving. I don't trust the Browns. I'm out on the Browns. The Browns can. Daniel Jones or Caleb Williams this week. Both my QBs are on a bye. What is Cincinnati? Daniel Jones has looked okay. I think you got to. The Bears are playing the Jags. The Jags aren't good. I mean, you got a good matchup both ways. I think I'm going to go Caleb Williams. I don't like saying it because I don't really care for Caleb Williams that much. I don't care for Daniel Jones either. I think you just got a better matchup. Yeah. Hall or Swift? I don't like Swift. Swift isn't good. He's just I mean, he's looked all right the last 2 weeks. Jacksonville. Brees Hall's been really bad this year, though. And it's not necessarily his fault. Brees looked good the first 3 weeks. He looked like crap the last 2 weeks against. You know what? You're going up against Buffalo, who's really bad against the run. I'm gonna go Hall. Screw it. Let's go Hall. Ready for the shootout. Daniels or Jackson? Oh man, I'm excited. Like this is a game that I'm truly excited for. Um, I like Jaden Daniels, but I mean, let's just be honest. Lamar's great too, right? But here's the thing with Lamar. They've gone away from the pass. Like if I'm talking fantasy wise, I'm starting Jaden Daniels over Lamar Jackson this week. Jaden Daniels has become a must play, to be honest. He's looked great. He's looked really good. And he's just getting better and better each week. I can't wait for that game, though. I think it's going to be a great game. Hey, bro, I'm stuck on starting ETN or Deontay Johnson. He's been dealing with an ankle for the last couple weeks, though, and it hasn't affected him. Other options, J.K. Dobbins, Christian Kirk, James Cook. Okay, I'm not starting ETN. Victor, I need to know if you're PPR, though. Okay? Are we PPR? Are we standard half-point PPR? Let me know. Once I get that, we'll come back to you. Okay? Should I trade? David Montgomery for Irving and Tracy and Hawkinson. Whew. That's a lot. Who are you having to drop? Bucky, we don't know if this is going to be a 1 week thing, right? It could just be a full PPR, Victor. Okay, let me answer this real quick, Victor, and I'll be right there back to you. I don't. If you're picking up 3 guys, we don't know when Hawkinson's coming back. We don't know how good he's going to be. Tracy, I think, is going to be kind of the guy going forward there in New York, I think, or at least see a good share. Irving, we'll see what he does this week, but I like Montgomery. I don't know that because you're going to have to drop some players, right? And is who you're dropping worth it? I don't know. I might stand pat there, to be honest with you, or hold off on for another week. Let's see what Irving does this week. All right. So full point PPR. I'm not starting ETN. I kind of want to say, hold on a second. I want to say these words, but you know what? No, I don't like the matchup because I like JK, but I don't like the matchup. Christian Kirk hasn't been bad. James Cook, if I knew he was playing, the problem with James Cook is we don't know if he's playing. He's trending towards playing, but he could have a setback, and that's Monday night, and you're screwed if he doesn't play, right? And we don't want to be in that situation. J.K. Dobbins, we know, is healthy. He's got a tough matchup in Denver. I don't know. When he's gone up against teams with a good run defense, he's not getting you much. But he's great. He was great against Vegas and Carolina, not great against Pittsburgh and Kansas City, and now he's going up against Denver. I don't like the matchup. Um, Christian Kirk. So I think it kind of comes down to maybe Christian Kirk, but again, another tough matchup. So maybe Deontay Johnson. Again, he's been dealing with ankle injury for a couple weeks. Andy Dalton in there, I like him. Bryce Young, I don't like him. Andy Dalton in there, I do like him. So I think I'm going to lean towards Deontay Johnson. Um, unless you just say, hey, you know what? I trust Cook's going to play. Then you go with Cook. But again, if something happens, you're kind of screwed. Coming back, and he is coming back, but you don't know what's going on. Mason CMC Taylor. Well, those are your other running backs. You don't know if we're ever going to see CMC again, right? Mason Hurt should be fine. Yeah, I don't think I would. I'm not pulling the trigger on that. Pick one: Brian Thomas Jr., Ridley, or George Pickens. Also, Komet and Njoku. Komet and Njoku are out of this conversation. I think Ridley finally had a good week this last. He's been kind of missing in action. Did he find? Am I remembering right that he finally had a good week this last week? No, no, he's done nothing. It was week 2 when he did something. I'm going Brian Thomas Jr. He's Brian Thomas Jr.'s looked good here lately. I don't know, let's see what the experts say. There's no experts here, man. Thoughts on the Texans D versus New England? The Texans D has been okay. Um, I don't I think it's more along the lines of I just don't think New England's offense is that great, especially without Ramondre Stevenson. So I think I like the Texans D versus New England. I have Dak, Hall, H.A., Najee, Pollard, Javante, Bigsby, Debo, Shaheed, Pittman, Mooney, Addison, Tolbert, McBride, Boswell as kicker, 49ers, and Puka on the IR. What do you think my chances of winning? 12 team. I mean, that's a pretty nice team. I don't like A-Chain right now without Tua. So if they figure something out, you're all right there. So maybe we're rolling with Pollard and Javante right now. Bigsby might take over. Debo looked good this last week. Pittman, I don't like him if Anthony Richardson is playing. If Flacco's in there, I like Pittman. If not, Shaheed, I don't like him with Spencer Rattler right now. I just want to see what's happening there. We'll see what happens. I like Mooney. I like Addison. Tolbert's kind of starting to step up a little bit, but we'll see. I mean, that's a decent team. That's not bad. You think Mixon will play, or he's slated to play, Adam? All the signs are he is going to play. Keep an eye on that situation. Hopefully he plays. The Texans aren't good without. The Texans are better with Mixon than they are Cam Akers. Cam Akers isn't good, right? That's all there is to it. Austin Eckler, Calvin Ridley, Chris Olave, Michael Pittman, ETN, or Deontay Johnson. I need to start 4. Okay, so I'm starting Austin Eckler and Deontay Johnson. There's my 2. I don't like Pittman with. I don't like him with Anthony Richardson, but I think he's got a higher ceiling. You got to hope for a big play. Same thing with Chris Olave with Spencer Rattler. I'm out on ETN, so I think I'm going to go with the 4 with Eckler, Olave, Pittman, and Johnson. We just looked at Ridley. He's only had one good week. He's been non-existent. Will Levis is trash. Yeah. McLaurin or Tank Dell this week? I like McLaurin. We know what we get with McLaurin. Jane Daniels has done nothing but get better week in and week out. We hope Dell takes over the target share there, but we don't know for sure. But McLaurin's having fun too, for the first time in forever. Let's see here. Trey Sermon or Tajay Spears. Madison Allen also on waivers. Um, I'm not a big Tajay Spears fan. Trey Sermon, I wasn't in on him last week, but he actually played pretty good. I mean, he got the touchdown, right? So it's a touchdown, 6 receptions. Are we PPR? Adam, let me know for PPR. For PPR, I think I want to go Trey Sermon. Masson, I don't like the Raiders right now. I don't. Aiden O'Connell's back in there. Uh, you know what? Yeah, I want Trey Sermon. Give me Trey Sermon. Which two should I start this week? Mike Evans, Darnell Mooney, Zay Flowers, full PPR. Always Mike Evans. Always. Always. We never bench Mike Evans. And then we'll go Darnell Mooney. Falcons are more of a pass-oriented offense versus Baltimore. That's all there is to that. They just don't want to throw the ball there in Baltimore. Would you go Eckler over Antonio Gibson in the flex? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Washington knows how to run the ball. Komet or Njoku, I'm going Komet there. Which two should I start this week? Always Mike Evans. Oh, I already got you, Johnny. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes you got to give me a second. Thank you so much, Live, for the sub. I appreciate it. Sermon or Gibson? Sermon? Give me Sermon. How about risk? Anthony Richardson is a tough matchup with Pittman and Downs back, or go safe with Dalton. I'm going Dalton. I don't like Anthony Richardson. He's a big player, nothing. That's what he is. If we've seen it week in and week out, Anthony Richardson's either going to throw a 60-yard play or he's going to fart and fall down. The receivers there, they had all of their points are off of big plays, big receptions. When they put Flacco in, tons of receptions, spreading the ball around, throwing the ball all over the place. I like the Colts. And we're talking fantasy wise, right? We're talking fantasy football here. I like the Colts better with Flacco off fantasy wise. I like Pittman and I like Downs with Flacco in. I don't like him with Anthony Richardson in. Hopefully, again, I just don't like Anthony Richardson, guys. I just don't. Pick 2: Wilson, Goddard, Brian Thomas Jr., McLaurin, Devontae Smith. Let's see here. We're only going to be going for a few more minutes here, guys. I'm going to try and get to everything I can. I've got to get to bed here pretty soon. But pick 2: Garrett Wilson, Chris Godwin, Brian Thomas Jr. I want to go Brian Thomas Jr. and I don't know that I trust Devonta Smith just yet. First week coming off of the injury. I kind of like McLaurin. Garrett Wilson did get a huge target share last week against a bad Vikings team. Brian Thomas Jr. and Godwin. How about that? How about that? Garrett Wilson could have a big week, though. It's a tough call. It's tough for a pick 2 right there. Maybe you got a flex. You can squeeze another player in. If you do, maybe Garrett Wilson. I think I'm going to give Devontae Smith a week before I start going in on him. Pittman had his best game by far last year on the road in Tennessee. Yeah. Tanks Bigsby worth playing this week? I don't know, man. He might. I mean, I think he's taken over for ETN. I would have to know who your other options are. I would have to see who the other options are. But I depending on your options, yeah, he's a decent option. But again, I just need to see who. Goddard or Tucker Craft at tight end. I went Tucker earlier. Someone asked me that question earlier. I like Tucker. I like Tucker. I don't know what we're going to get out of Goddard this week with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith back this week. So, Darren, thanks, man, for doing this. Hey, no problem. Would you take Sermon or Tracy this week? Tracy. What players do against teams in the past matters a lot. It does, but I don't know, Uncle Ted. Like I said, I just don't like the way the offense runs with Anthony Richardson there. That's it. And a full PPR. Okay. Yeah, I just need to know who your other options are, Adam. And I think I probably already know. I think we already talked about it earlier, but I got a lot of comments in here, so I can't find it. My team has CMC, Taylor's, Neighbors, and Cups. Oh no. I have Daniels at QB. And my running backs are Mason, Bigsby Flex, Demont. Yeah. And my receivers are D Hop and Slayton. Wish me luck. Tight end is between Pitts and Dalton Schultz. I like Pitts. I like Pitts. Is that he is, but they gotta pass the ball. That's it. That they're not passing the ball, they're running it. PPR, Bigsby or Dowdle. I think I've been going with Dowdle all night. Um, you're not dealing with a share there, right? Because if ETN gets in the game and starts doing good, it kind of put Bigsby to the side, right? Would you take some? Yeah, I already got you there, Darren. Sometimes you got to give me a minute. Yeah. Among late round pickers and rookies, which three players do you think performing much better? Oh man. I'm not prepared for that right now. Let me see here. I like JMO has been doing good this year so far. Um, Rookie What Neighbors has stepped up. Marvin Harrison's looked good so far this year. Yeah, that's a couple. He's gonna fart and fall down. Epic. That's what I think Anthony Richardson does, man. Uh, Gardner, AR-15 is not elite. I'll fight you on that. I will fight you on that. All right, guys, I got to get out of here for the night. I'm heading out. Some of these comments that I can get to, I will try and get something out on them. Pondering Flex and McNichols. I think he has a role this week with B Rob out. I like Eckler this week, Darren. I like Eckler. But yeah, should I trade Kyron Williams before Cooper Kupp and Puka come back? I don't know. It just depends on what you're getting. You know, I would have to know what the rest of your roster looks like, and I'd have to know what you're getting. But guys, thank you so much for coming in. I'll be back next Saturday around the same time, around 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also go live Wednesdays around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's me and my pal Rapid Dave. We'll be in here doing our thing on Wednesday. But thank you guys so much for coming in. All the new people that came in, all the old people that they're hanging out here. Michael Lopez Hookham Horns took care of business today, but there was no question there, right? OU is just bad this year. Bad. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the new subs, all the new followers, everything, all the comments. I appreciate you guys. Hey, as always, I'm Alan. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.